Shalom, shalom. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us. This is JCC TV, and this is the Gospel Channel. Our main focus is to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ to the whole part of the universe. And my name is Noah Magige Mara, and in studio, I'm privileged to have a guest here, and very quick, they are going to introduce themselves, and they are going to tell us who they are, what they do. Very quick, I'm going to start with my extreme left.
I'm Esther Mutunga. I'm the Finance and Operations Director here at JCC Mombasa. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yes, Pastor.
Greetings in the name of Jesus. My name is Pastor Reynard Munove. Administrative Pastor here at JCC Calvary Praise Cathedral. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Karibu, Pastor.
Yeah, my name is Pastor Japheth Musila. I'm currently the residential pastor of JCC Miritini. I'm glad to be here. You're most welcome.
Karibu. Today we are going to focus more on leadership and governance. And this is to any institution, any government. We need to have a strong leadership. We need to have a strong governance. So when you hear about leadership and governance, what comes in your mind?
For me, leadership is about influence. Mm-hmm. It's about motivating people towards a certain goal. Mm-hmm. As for governance, is the tools mm-hmm. Or the systems that we use, mm-hmm. the decision process mm-hmm. that we go through mm-hmm. To make leadership effective. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. That's my short understanding.
Asante. Yes, Pastor.
Yes, leadership, simply put, you can say it's about taking people to a destination. Mm-hmm. So once you know the destination, then you have to come and influence the people that you want to go to that particular destination with you. About governance is the policies and the structures that will put in place to make sure that your journey towards that destination is going to be effective. Yes.
Okay, Pastor Japheth.
Yeah, leadership, as it has been defined, is knowing where you need to go and go there. Get people alongside with you and navigate the journey to your destiny. Just to add up on what my friends have just said. Yes. Governance is the structures, the systems, and the policies that work alongside to get everything done.
Yeah. We know it is the leadership. It shows the way. The governance. These are structures. These are policies. Now, what is the difference? Where is the difference between leadership and governance? That is to you, Esther.
Well, the difference is about the people. I believe it's about the people. Yes. You have to have the right leader and the right structures to achieve the common goal. So, number one, the difference has to be with the people, because depending on the kind of people you have on board will determine whether you achieve either. Okay. You may have a good leader, but poor structures. Okay?
Yes.
So for me, is governance, the structures, the policies, the vision, the mission, they are tools, and that's the difference. Leadership is with a person. Governance are tools, which can be changed, can be molded, can be... Yeah. But the person is one. Yes.
We hear several times that leaders are made, leaders are born. So, which is which, Pastor Japheth? Are leaders born or are leaders made? Yeah.
Number one, leaders are not born. Leaders are raised. They are made. It takes a very serious investment to raise a leader. It takes time also to put every equipment and resources that are supposed to be in a leader. Because a leader knows the destiny. He knows the end from the beginning it is not somebody who is finding the way.
Yes.
It is somebody who knows the way.
Mm-hmm.
So his job is to point the people where they are supposed to go.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
they are not born,
Mm-hmm.
they are trained,
Mm-hmm.
they are equipped,
Mm-hmm.
they are mentored
Mm-hmm.
for them to become leaders.
Yes.
Yes.
So there are skills for any organization. There are skills that somebody has to have. There are qualities that somebody has. Lazima kuwe nazo. What are the qualities for someone to become an effective leader? For someone to have all the to have the ability to lead somewhere or to stand somewhere as a leader. What qualities should that person have? That is to you.
I would say one, a leader should be teachable
Mm-hmm.
or flexible.
Mhm.
That's the
Mhm.
one I was looking
Mhm.
for.
Mhm.
They should be able to be innovative. They
Mhm.
should be able to
Mhm.
learn
Mhm.
new things
Mhm.
along the way,
Mhm.
because not everything is written on stone.
Mhm.
A leader should be a motivator,
Mhm.
should lead by example.
Mhm.
I can't ask someone to do something that I cannot do myself.
Mhm.
And I believe even with our own leader here,
Mhm.
we see what he does by example. When it comes to giving,
Mhm.
he's the number one to give whatever seed he's asking for or the highest offering, and leads us to follow. When it comes to morning glory, you will never miss him here so long as he's within the county or in the country. He'll always be in the morning glory. So a leader should be able to lead by example. A leader should be able to inspire. There are leaders who have charisma, but there are also leaders who just inspire by who they are. And they give an opportunity for their team members to give ideas also, hear from them, and push them to do what they need to do to achieve the particular goal.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we understand leadership, we understand governance. Should all of us, or should a leader have all, this is to you, should a leader have all the qualities, all the skills of governance, or one outweigh the other?
Thank you very much. It will depend with the situation and the environment around that leader. This is because different setups will call for different kind of leadership. So sometimes one might not have what is necessary at that particular time, but that should not limit them out in getting it out. A good example is with Moses, with the children of Israel, and he used to spend the whole day as their leader, judging them. But he did not have the ability to transfer what he has to some other people so that they help the workload out from him. Until his father-in-law came and told him, what you are doing will wear you out. Appoint some people, apportion them the work, let them decide the cases, handle only what should be handled by you, the most difficult of the cases. So sometimes it will depend with one, the leader, and number two, the environment that they are in. But the leader, one of the characters of the leader should be able to adapt to the environment. So when the environment demands for a certain thing, then they should quickly adapt to that thing. This is because change occurs all the time. The way people used to do things in the past is not the same way that we are doing now, is not the same way will be done tomorrow. So we need to adapt to the changes that have come, the technologies, and so on and so on.
Do you think that the changes have shifted? Like now the leaders, you have given an example,
Yes.
about Moses,
Yeah.
and the current leaders. Is there any difference?
Not really, not much difference. Again, we are not all the same. Moses is a type of a leader. You'll get another type of a leader in the form of Joshua. You'll get another type of a leader in the type of Peter. So there will be differences in the leaders. Even as here as leaders, we will not lead exactly the same way. But there is something I can get from him, there's something can get from me, there's something she can get from us, we can get from her. All what it will entail is is this going to fit in the kind of environment, the kind of situation that I am in? This is because also we might not be trying to solve the same thing. So if I just take what you are doing and paste it in my situation, then I'll definitely not be able to arrive to where I wanted to arrive. Remember, leadership is taking people to a destination. So if your destination demands that you walk, and what I'm doing demands that I fly, if I start walking, then that means I'll take a lot of time to do what I'm supposed to do. So it will, again, different setups, different situations, different times, different seasons as well. Sometimes a leader might have the people to do it. Sometimes he might not have to do it. So he might spend more time to train the people. Not that he has forgotten the vision, but his training is instilling capacity for the people now, so that they start moving again. So you might find him not moving and think he has forgotten the vision, or he has forgotten where they were going. But he's taking time to train the people, so that when they start moving, then they'll be able to recover and to cover the distance at a shorter period. So there might be not many changes, and there are changes, but it always depends on the environment, the situation, the time, the situation on the ground, and so on.
Yes, Pastor Japheth, I would like you to maybe elaborate it further. What Pastor Ray has said is that situation, condition, mara nyingi kuna vitu zina happen and then zinabadilisha the way we behave. Maybe disasters, maybe the change, maybe mtu anaweza kuwa bankrupt. Now that is a leader. Are those things, can they change you as a person or as a leader?
I would like us to, on my own request, we focus on leadership based on what God, because the Bible becomes the most excellent manual to study leadership. And God believes in leadership. A leader is a person who is supposed to have capacity to handle difficult situations, no matter how they come. Number one, leaders don't give up. Leaders don't discourage people. Leaders bring hope when everything, like Nehemiah, we see leadership traits in Nehemiah. He was able to come and restore the building of the wall with people that were desperately punctured, they were defeated and everything. So, like in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, the Bible says, write down the vision. So leadership is about fulfilling a vision. You must point the people to the destiny that you are taking them, because it is knowing where you are going, now which builds the energy to go there. So number one, we define where are we going? What do we need to do? You make it plain before the people. Then from there, now the structures come in. What do we need to go where we need to go? What are the things we need to have to help us go where we need to go? So there are different leaders in scriptures. Joseph was one. David was one. And God has the same qualities and standards for leadership. So anybody who wants to become a great leader in their generation, they must settle down and study God's perspective on leadership. Yes. So maybe to quote a few.
Okay.
To quote a few, like if we read 2 Samuel 23, maybe we can read for our viewers. 2 Samuel 23 and verses 2. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. He who rules over men must be just, ruling in the fear of the Lord. Now those are instructions.
Yeah, yes.
So a leader must be a man who has these traits. Number one is a just man. Yeah. Justification to it is addressing the aspect of righteousness. It's a man who is upright. then he must rule in the fear of God. In other words, his leadership potentials should develop what is in the mind of God, not what he desires. The other one is Psalms 78, 72, talking about David.
Yes.
The Bible says, David, he shepherded Israel according to the integrity in his heart. So a leader must be a man of integrity. Yeah, he should not be having a dark lifestyles. A man of his word. Then, and he guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. A leader must be a man full of skill, like the Esther said, innovative, creative, and all the wisdom that will get a leader effective, it is God-given. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Esther, I understand you have been into corporate world and then you understand more that area. So right now you're in the ministry. So what is the difference between the two? Compare, yeah.
Well, there's not much difference in terms of one being a leader, really. It's just the style. Like in the ministry, there's more compassion, understanding in comparison to corporate world. Corporate world, the structures are more ingrained. But for here, we kind of become more flex while dealing with people. It calls a lot of patience. It calls for faith. Because, for example, if the corporate, if it's a company, it has no money, it has no money. And if it's supposed to go bankrupt, it will go bankrupt. But the church runs differently. There's something we have called faith. So even when there's no money, we see money. When we know we can't hoop that, we can't skip that hoop over there, we have seen ourselves skip it. So there's more of resilience, I would say, in terms of running things than it is in the corporate world. Things that could be, that you could send an employee for suspension, for example, is something we would have more time to sit down and cancel and find out the underlying problem. In corporate is if I'm the supervisor and I'm not happy with you or your work and I don't see any way forward with you, I'll just send you to the HR. But here I can't do that. I have to call you, talk to you. What's going on? Talk to me. Regardless of whether that stuff is productive or not. And then we come to an agreement and say, you know what, you're not productive in 1, 2, 3. So what can we do that you become more productive? Because we are not profit oriented. In corporate, they don't have that time for discussion because when you're profit oriented and you're not adding profit to me, I'll take you out. I bring someone who will bring profit. Yes. So that is one of the major differences. Here we are faith. When things are not running, I will run to the sanctuary, just take a breather and pray. By the time I'm going back, a door has opened. There's a day we had nothing to pay some bills. And we were like, we were not seeing how we were going to do this. And my accountant was like, don't worry, you know, she's been here longer. So she was like, don't worry, miracles happen. You go to bed, you wake up in the morning, some money has come into the account, you don't know where it has come from, and there's no explanation. And I saw it happen. She just told me, hold on to that faith. I saw it happen. So from that time henceforth, I just ran to the sanctuary, pray, something happens. Yeah. So, and there's the flexibility in terms of being more understanding, being more patient with people. And as he said, there are things that don't work the same. Leadership styles change. Yeah, they don't work the same. So I have learned how to be more chill in my leadership than how I would have reacted if I was in a corporate world. With corporate, it's all about results, it's all about performance, it's all about profit making. Yeah.
Just to add on to what our sister said, one of the things that stand out actually, it is faith. Because in the corporate world, you will not speak faith, but they want to see what is on the table. But here, when it comes now to the people who trust in God, sometimes it can be too hard to explain. Even in the home setup, the husband is the leader of the house. Then one comes in the morning and says, like Abraham, God has said we go. Where? To a land. Which land? He will show me. So now you are pulling out your wife, your staff, to somewhere. You are not telling them where it is. And you are saying God has appeared to you. What is his name? What is his color? You cannot still explain. And you expect them to follow you. You wake up another day, God has told you to go and sacrifice your son.
Yeah.
Then sometimes it becomes very hard for a leader to explain such things. So when it comes to matters of faith, we just walk believing that what God has said, though it may not make sense, but it is still the right thing to do, whichever time it is, whichever how we look at it. So one thing that differentiates us a lot with the corporate world, actually it is faith.
It is faith.
Yes.
So how are we raising? Is it difficult for somebody who has worked? Was it difficult for you for that transition?
Yeah, it's taking some bit of time, or rather it's taken some bit of time. But I thank God for the mentors that I have. And one thing that I was told, ministry is hard. If you carry it as a burden, it's going to weigh on you because you own it. It's not like corporate. If something is not working, you just throw it to your senior. What do I do with this? It's not working. And you may try to come up with a solution. Here, some things you take ownership because of faith. But one thing they told me is ministry has special kind of trials. And if you carry it, it's going to weigh on you. So don't carry anything. Let it go. The stresses that I would have with banks and the loans and stresses with KRA, for example, with filing things and stuff like that, I stopped stressing. So I just take it easy and dealing with it as it comes. So the transition has been there. Transition also with dealing with people. It has also come in. And the good thing here is also we have access to our lead pastor easier than in a corporate. Well, somebody, if I was holding the same position in corporate, I would have access to the CEO easily. But if I was just an accountant, for example, I would not. But here the difference is the accountant also has direct access to the lead pastor. So at least with the hierarchy and the bureaucracy, it's also shortened. There's easy access than how it would have been in corporate world. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. There is a lot that I know our viewers are learning. They're getting some knowledge, and we are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back focusing on how we grow leaders and what challenges are there when it comes to leadership and governance. Keep watching JCC TV, bringing the gospel to you.